Now let's move ahead to learn about types of money. Number 1. To be suitable as a large-scale circulating medium, the commodity must have utility other than monetary. It must be divisible without loss of value. It must be portable, having relatively large value in small bulk. It must be malleable and recognizable when stamped. It must be uniform in composition and quality. And it must be durable and able to resist wear and tear. Number 2. To serve as a standard for deferred payments and as a store of value. Its value in exchange should be as stable as possible. Such stability would tend to result from limited and steady production and broad usage. All these qualities and others which might be suggested give to the commodity its essential characteristic, namely universal exchangeability in both time and place.
Okay, sir. Money we use in the form of metal and paper have all these qualities.
Yes, Vidya. Historically considered, the evolution of money as a commodity had the tendency of metals to supersede all forms of money in the more advanced communities, and by the tendency to progress from the less valuable to the more valuable metals. The result is that gold, which possesses the desired qualities to a higher degree than the other metals, has become preeminently the universal money article. The settlement of big purchases, debts and balances is made in terms of and.
Baba, did people just use gold at that time for all type of transactions?
No, Vidya. For certain purposes, however, for example, small transactions, other metals are more easy to use. Their lower value making possible a large weight for small values. Metallic money may circulate by weight or by count. In its earliest form, it circulated by weight, but the practice was very inconvenient. However, till the time money circulated by weight, there was no doubt regarding the nature of money. It was a commodity exchange in kind for other commodities, and the barter nature of the operation was clear.
Okay, then how we started counting of money?
Vidya, to introduce circulation by count, it was necessary that an authoritative person or institution should issue them. Pieces of the metal are uniform in size, content, and design. Certification of this uniformity by the imprint of his or its stamp maintain their full weight. When they were so designed, any reduction by erosion, sweating, clipping, and the like being easily detected would render their acceptance improbable except by weight. The act of manufacturing uniform coins and stamping them in some way as a guarantee of their purity and of their weight is termed coinage.